Continuing with the calendar, next category of resolutions, next category on the calendar, page 33 is the category resolutions uncontested calendar. Approximately a dozen or so bills in this uncontested calendar block, beginning top of page 33 with Senate Joint Resolution 275, reaffirming that all persons residing in the Commonwealth of Virginia are afforded equal protection under the law. The bill was reported, from the Committee for Courts of Justice.
Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Can we have that bill moved to the regular calendar? The resolution?
Just the resolution to the regular.
Yeah, we'll move that resolution to the regular calendar.
Mr. Speaker, returning to page 33. Top of page 33 is Senate Joint Resolution 275. There is a floor amendment that's been submitted, and it's being processed to load that into IHOD.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker.
Delegate Toscano.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak to the floor amendment as it's being loaded?
Why don't we go ahead and take it by temporary and let it be loaded, and we'll come back to it. All those in favor of taking by temporarily SJR 275, signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. SJR 275 is by temporarily. Delegate from Shenandoah, Delegate Gilbert.
Mr. Speaker, I have a motion.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I move that SJ 275 go by for the day.
Delegate Gilbert moves that SJR 275 go by for the day. As many favor that motion will signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. SJR 275 goes by for the day.
Thank you all so much for your dedication and your public service.
Certainly like to welcome our guests from the Quality of Virginia to the Capitol today. The delegate from Hopewell, Delegate Ingram.
Mr. Speaker, point of personal privilege.
Delegate has the floor.
No
Delegate
more.
from Shenandoah, Delegate Gilbert.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a motion.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, having voted on the prevailing side by which we took SJR 275 by for the day on page 33, I move that we reconsider that vote.
Delegate Gilbert moves that having voted on the prevailing side, the House reconsider the vote by which it took by for the day, HJR 275. As many as favor of that motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
As opposed, no.
Mr.
That
Speaker.
motion carries. The gentleman from Shenandoah, Delegate Gilbert.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a motion.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the SJR 275 be re-referred to the Committee on Courts of Justice.
Delegate Gilbert moves that SJR
Mr. Speaker,
275
Mr. Speaker,
be referred to the Committee of Courts of Justice. Delegate Gilbert.
I move the pending question.
Delegate Gilbert moves the
Mr.
pending
Speaker.
question on that motion. All those in favor of moving the pending
Mr.
question
Speaker,
signify by
parliamentary
saying
inquiry.
aye. All those opposed, no.
No.
The pending question is moved. Shall SJR 275 be re-referred to the Committee on Courts of Justice? All that favor that motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. As opposed, no.
No.
The ayes have it. SJR 275 is re-referred to Courts of Justice.
Ayes and nays.
Ayes and nays are called for. Shall SJR 275 be re-referred to Courts of Justice? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 54, noes 42.
Ayes 54, noes 42. SJR 275 is re-referred to the Committee on Courts of Justice. Delegate from Charlottesville, Delegate Toscano.
We're able to return to the morning hour.
Yes, delegate has the floor.
Point of personal privilege.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. You know, what we really have seen today is raw political power in its unbelievable majesty. I think Delegate Simon pointed out that, you know, the rules are set up by the majority, but they also are supposed to protect the minority. And here we've seen the rules being manipulated to destroy the ability of the minority even to present a case. What has happened today, you know, we've talked a lot about rules, and I agree with the delegate from Caroline. Rules really do matter. And if you set up the rules in a way, and then people who interpret the rules just interpret them whatever way they want, that's the way it goes. You can do whatever you want. So let's just try to figure out here for a minute what you just did. For everybody who's watching on television and everybody who's writing their pieces of paper, writing their columns, you just eliminated the ability of us to have a straight up or down vote on this House floor for the Equal Rights Amendment. So don't give us any malarkey about, well, if this gets to the House floor, we'll vote for it, because you just prevented it from getting to the House floor. That's what this substitute SJR 275 did. For those of you who weren't paying attention, it actually gave you the ability, to vote for the ERA on the House floor without even disrupting the problem that the delegate from Caroline has about changing the rules. We could have had this vote today on the House floor without changing one single rule, but instead you prevented it. Everybody knows the fix is in. The leadership does not want to vote on this, and the leadership is going to deny everybody in the caucus your right that you said you wanted to do to vote on the ERA on the House floor. And all we are left with is tomorrow the rules. And we know what's going to happen with that. You talk about a sham game on that. It's all fixed. It's all rigged. And I think the Virginian public who are watching know for sure right now that this is all rigged. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Caroline, nope. Delegate from Prince William, Delegate Ayala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I felt compelled to speak on what just happened.
Would the delegate like to tell us why?
Mr. Speaker, yes. I'm so sorry. Point of personal privilege.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to speak on the incident and to piggyback off of what the delegate Toscano just referenced. When I said earlier I wanted to have the opportunity to be heard and that I would listen so that you're heard, I don't think that's happening here. I know what it's like to have the deck stacked against me. Again, when we talk about historical information, if we had the 19th Amendment ratified because it says all persons can vote, but we had to ratify it because women could not vote, if we had to give me my civil rights, the 15th Amendment had to be codified because they didn't give women like me of color the right to vote. And today, when I ask you for my civil rights, for the equality of all women, not just some women, but all women, you've obstructed my ability to have that opportunity. Now you have to tell 81% of Virginians that you've obstructed my civil and human right to equality. I respect each and every one of you, but what I don't respect today is your maneuver. If we really respect one another, and if we really want to give women due process under the law, you would bring this to the floor for a full vote and debate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.